So I want to start this video off right away by saying this is not a diss toward any other team in the AFC North for this video. I know sometimes I make jokes and stuff like that on my videos, but this is literally, I am breaking down each team, the free agents, and the salary cap they have, okay? So if I am incorrect about the Ravens starters, or who are the Steelers starters, or the Browns starters, tell me down below. I'm not trying to be ignorant here and not get this correct. I looked up a lot of different articles and depth charts to see who is starting for your said teams. I know who starts for my team. I know all my snap counts. I know all my breakdowns. But for example, the Browns, they have so many different injuries that some players are considered starters, but they're not really starters. So just a little side note there. I believe I got these all correct, but if I get one or two wrong, just tell me down below. You don't gotta be harsh, okay? I don't watch your teams, okay? I watch your teams twice a year when we play you. With that being said, let's go ahead and talk about this. So starting off right away, all four AFC North teams are in a different situation when it comes to salary cap. The Bengals are sitting at $59.4 million. The Ravens are sitting at $13.6 million. The Steelers are negative $16 million. And then, of course, the Browns are negative $19.6 million. Now, shout out to the Steelers because they just got themselves a brand new OC. So, of course, they got rid of the man they probably should have gotten rid of a long time ago, for being honest. And they actually got Arthur Smith, the Falcons head coach, as now their OC. So, shout out to them for that because, no, honestly, you went from a dumpster fire OC to now a competent guy. And actually, I think Arthur Smith is actually pretty damn good. But nonetheless, though, Steelers benefiting from free agency coaching-wise just right now. Obviously, we lost our OC in Brian Callahan. Dan Pitcher was promoted quarterback coach. Doesn't really matter. Zach Taylor calls the plays anyway. We still kept Lou. No problem there. The Ravens did lose their player of personnel, and he actually got a GM job, so shout out to him for that. There is still going to be talks and interviews with McDonald, their defensive coordinator. I know Mumpkin is potentially, maybe not after that championship, might get a head coaching opportunity. We'll have to wait and see on that one. And the Browns, I think everything is good with you guys. You still got Jim Schwartz, one of the best defensive coordinators in the game, and you still got Kevin Stefanski, who is going to be coach of the year. So now let's go into the Bengals and talk about the free agents and how everything works out. So how I have the free agents set up for each team is that you're going to see if they're green, that means that they're starters, okay? If they're yellow, that means they're backups. And again, this is when I'm talking about AFC North fans here, Ravens, Steelers, and Browns. I believe I got these all correct, but just tell me if I got anything correct. So, starting off right away, these are all starters for us. And it really does suck, because out of all the AFC North teams, we have the most starters who are going to be hitting free agency. We have the most impactful players who are going to be hitting free agency. Now, we have the most salary cap, right? And we have the most money to kind of allocate to it. But with Jamar Chase needing a contract, with, again, T. Higgins now needing a contract, which we're going to franchise tag him, and that's going to cost us $25 million unless we work a long-term contract out. There's a lot of things going on here that's going to be a problem, right? So let's go ahead and break it down. Our wide receiver 2 is going, T. Higgins is up for contract. Tyler Boyd, wide receiver 3, up for contract. Starting right tackle. I think we'll just draft a right tackle in the first round this year, and we'll be a replacement for Jonah Williams. Cheeto, starting corner, is going to be most likely gone. If I had to break this down, Tyler Boyd's gone. Jonah might come back depending on the money we offer him. Cheeto's gone. T. Higgins, I think we franchise tag, try to work a long-term contract out with him. DJ Reader, I really hope we figure out a contract with him. Right now, I'm 50-50 on him. Drew Sample, he'll come back. Irv Smith, I believe it's Montgomery Gentry who says, "Gone like the freight train, gone like every day, gone like it's..." Yeah, gone! Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Pardon my French. Gone. He gone, gone. He gone, gone. He gone, gone. Yeah, Tanner Hudson, he'll come back. They'll sign to a contract. Cal, obviously, long snapper, he'll come back. Max, I don't know. We really don't know about Max. Now, the reason why Max is even on this roster is because we had an injury last year in preseason, which actually got Max re-signed and got him on the roster. So, if potentially he could come back, or he'll be a practice squad guy. Cody Ford, same concept, unless we draft someone. He could potentially come back, but Jackson Carman, I know, is up there too. Josh, he'll come back. Keem Davis-Gaither, I think all these guys, in all honesty, will be coming back. AJ McCarron, maybe not. Maybe practice squad, if anything. He did say that he only will be on the one practice squad, which will be our practice squad. He said he won't play for any other team's practice squad. He just wants to be a part of the Bengals still. Joe Bacci, he'll come back unless we draft somebody. Again, all these guys are either practice squad or we draft somebody. So this, in all honesty, we have one player. Tyler Boyd's going to suck that we lose him, but we have Yoshi and Chuck Sizzle, Charlie Jones, to step up and take over for that. We're going to draft a right tackle. We're probably going to draft a corner, but we do also have other corners that can take over. We're going to franchise tag. This is a huge loss if we lose him. We're going to bring him back. Gone. We'll bring him back. So in the end, the worst case scenario, in my opinion, is going to be that we lose DJ Reader. Because I think everyone else either is going to be gone, or we're going to bring back, again, T. Higgins on the franchise tag. So that's the Bengals. And yeah, we have our own problems, and we have 59 million reasons why we have to fix them. Now the Ravens. Patrick Queen, obviously. See, here's the thing, right? I used to watch the Ravens all the time, right? And I watch Patrick Queen, like every single game. Patrick Queen is an interesting guy. He's really great in run support. He's not the greatest coverage guy, but he's really great in run support. He's a great athlete. He hits the holes way too quickly, and sometimes it gets the best of him. Like, he sometimes doesn't pursue the ball carrier the correct way. He's a great athlete, though. They didn't pick up his fifth-year option. They're not going to bring him back, in my opinion. I don't think they bring him back. I think he will be leaving. And he'll go get a payday somewhere. Hey, Patrick. Remember when you played with LSU with Joe Burrow? I'm just saying, you want to come back to Cincinnati, just come on over. We might pursue him. There's a chance. There is a chance. Especially if we let, like, Joe Bacci or Keem Davis-Gaither go. Maybe we get Patrick Queen. Kyle Van Noy, I think they will. I'm sorry, he'll be gone. Honestly, with $13 million, I think what they're going to do, and if I was the Ravens, this is kind of how I would work it. You got to figure out a contract here. This is your number one priority. Everyone else on this list, John Simpson is a starting left guard. But you also do have your Philo. You have the big guy at left guard backing him up. So, but you'll probably get him back for cheap. This is your number one option. You can't go on. Everyone else, Clowney's older, you can let him go. You can let Kyle Van Noy go. I know it sucks, but you also have Elway. You have Tyus Bowser. You have some options in the back end to cover that. And then you could also draft. You also drafted Tre'Davious Robinson in the 4th round last year. Trenton Simpson as well. So you got 3rd, 4th there. Like, you have options, right, to get around losing those guys. You cannot lose Justin. You cannot lose him. So you got to re-sign Justin. Get that. I would allocate all the money I could toward that contract. Once you get done that, then you got to figure out the rest. John Simpson, I would say, is next because he's just starting left guard. You could always draft a left guard, though. That's the thing. Everyone else on this list, let me see. Josh Johnson, nothing. No. Dalvin Cook, the thing about Dalvin Cook is he wanted to play for the Ravens so bad in the postseason. He even said he almost signed with them back in the summer of last year. So it's very possible that Dalvin Cook, could just come back for a team-friendly deal. He probably will, in all honesty, especially if he believes in this offense. Daryl Worley, I think you got to bring him back. I think he's a nice backup starter. I mean, he could be a rotation. He's a rotational guy. Devin Duvernay, your kick punt returner. I'd bring him back. And again, a lot of these guys you're going to bring back for literally cheap as heck because no one else is going to go after them. But yeah, so Arthur Mullet, I think you draft a corner. I really think you draft a corner in the second round. J.K. Dobbins is going. Him and his injury concerns, there's no way they're bringing him back. Ronald Darby, he's kind of older. Maybe get him back on like a little deal, but if you have to lose him and draft a corner, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. Tyler Ott, you're going to probably let he's your long snapper, but that's not your long snapper. That's not your starter. I know who your starter is. What's his name? You picked him up in the Seahawks. I know you're starting freaking long snapper. Nick Moore. So he'll come back from injury. He was out for the season. So he'll come back from injury, and then you can let him go. Yeah, Brent Irvin, old Patriot. You can let him go in all honesty. All right, Steelers, negative $16 million. Levi Wallace is gone. He's going to go get a payday. He's 29 years old. He's going to hit free agency. Chandon Sullivan, you're probably going to figure out a way to... you're probably going to lose all these guys. I will say, though, if you're Pittsburgh here, right, losing all these guys is not going to destroy your roster. It's not going to destroy you. Miles Boykin is a fourth-string receiver behind Calvin Austin Jr., or Calvin Austin II, which actually going through... Let me just cover Calvin Austin real fast. So Calvin Austin was a receiver drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ironically enough, he actually apparently wanted to be a Raven, but the Ravens didn't draft him, so he wanted to prove it to the Ravens that he's that good. He got hurt in preseason of year one, and once he got hurt, he was out for the whole entire season, year one. Last season, Mike Tomlin came out and said that Calvin Austin needs to be a wide receiver one. He needs to be like a second-year receiver in his first year. Because you got to think about last year is pretty much his first year. He missed the first season with injury. So last year was his first year, and he needed to be he needed to be a second-year guy in his first year. And to be honest, based on what I've heard from Mike Tomlin, he has been that guy. He caught a touchdown against us. He's been playing pretty damn amazing. And he's really ranking himself up on that third wide receiver slot. Now, again, they are going to be losing some pieces at the receiver position in Miles Boykin, but I don't really think it's that big of a deal. You got Allen Robinson for another year. You also got, obviously, George Pickens, Deontay Johnson. If Calvin Austin can continue to get good with his speed, he can be an absolute star receiver. So... you got those four guys. I don't think Miles Boykin leaving is that big of a deal. I think it is what it is. Elijah Riley's not that big of a deal. He is unless I'm incorrect here, a nickelback corner. But you have some other guys in that spot that you can put in. And again, if you have to draft one, you have to draft one. And then keep in mind, you're getting back Corey Trice. Corey Trice was a 7th-round draft pick who got hurt for this whole entire season. But in preseason, in training camp, this guy looks like he's going to be a top 5 player in the NFL. He was just a star in training camp. And then he goes down with an injury, sadly. And again, like I said, I don't care what team you are, Ravens, Steelers, Browns. If you guys get injuries, I don't want to see injuries to anybody. I don't care if you're a divisional opponent or not. I'm never going to want to see injuries. I'm happy to hear that he is recovering well. Anyway, though, Corey Trice, 7th-round pick, looking like a top 15 in preseason and training camp. Obviously, listen, it's preseason training camp. But he goes down for the season, so now he's out. And I want to correct myself. I don't think he got to preseason. I think he was hurt in training camp. But yeah, so now he's out. But he's going to come back, and he'll be healthy. And yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a adjustment because now you're going to have to go out there if you're Pittsburgh here and draft some more corners because you're going to lose Levi Wallace. You still have Patrick Peterson, but he's a little bit older. You want someone else. You got Joey Porter Jr. You bring back Corey Trice now, right? Put him in the slot. Then you got another corner you're going to want to draft. You're going to have a younger secondary, just like you did last year, this upcoming year. So you're going to have to worry about that. James Pierre, not really that big of a loss. He's a wide receiver. Unless I'm completely incorrect. I might be incorrect on that one. Everyone else, though, yeah, I think you should be fine. The problem here is you're losing two linebackers, and that's something that Steelers are very weak at, is the linebacker position. So, yeah, that's definitely going to be a problem. And again, like I said, safety, you're just going to have to draft someone and figure that out. And also, you're losing another linebacker in Walker. So, that's definitely not always great. Now, the Cleveland Brownies. Here we got it. So, starting off right away, we got Rodney McLeod. And if I am correct, and I believe I'm correct here, he's 34 years old. You're going to let him walk anyway. Let me just double check this to make sure. I believe he's 34 years old. 33 years old, but he'll be 34 next season. He's going to walk. You're going to let him walk. That's not a big deal. You got negative $19.6 million. Now, you could, and again, this was a rumor. Keep in mind, I covered the AFC North on my other channel at the beginning of last season. So everything about Browns, Steelers, and Ravens, I have installed into my brain until last season. There was rumors last season you're going to cut Amari Cooper. Could you save $18 million? Or you could trade him, save $18 million as long as you get rid of him by March of this year. So, you could do that. That would save you a lot of money. But you're going to let Rodney McLeod go. You're going to lose all these guys, right? And they're just a part of being negative 19.6 in the salary cap. Now, I will say, with that being said, I don't think it's that big of a deal, all these guys that you're losing. Hurst is going to be a big deal to lose. Philip Walker, a linebacker. The Browns have been weak at linebacker all year. And injuries definitely do not help. Jordan Elliott, yeah, that's a starting D tackle. That's going to be a huge loss. Other than that, though, Anthony Walker Jr., that's going to be a huge loss, too. That's another safety you're losing. Defensive line, Shelby Harris, you brought him in because of injuries, and he's just a rotational piece. He's an older guy. That's not that much of a loss. Harrison Bryant, you're probably bringing back the league minimum somehow. Kareem Hunt, that's not a big loss. In all honesty, I think especially with Nick Chubb now coming back from injury and being 100% next year, you could even draft a running back, 3rd, 4th round, get yourself a nice little power back, 1-2 punch, not a power back, a elusive back, a receiving back. Get a nice little 1-2 punch, get yourself a new Kareem Hunt. Again, this is the whole mentality with running backs nowadays. It's messed up, but you run them till the wheels fall off, and then you go get someone else. Joe Flacco, yeah, that's not that. As that, your quarterback's Deshaun Watson. The next 3 years, you got 60. I think it's 63 million reasons next 3 or 67 million reasons next 3 years why your quarterback is not Joe Flacco. James Prochet, he actually played for the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Browns now. Yeah, that's not big of a loss. None of these guys right here is that big of a loss. Like Ford, no. Yeah, this is not that big of a loss. It's just these guys. This is, it is what it is. He's 34 years old. This is a huge loss. This is a humongous loss. Now let me double check that guy, because I don't believe, if I'm correct here, that he is, I think he is a starter, but I don't know. I want to see where exactly we're talking about on that guy. I don't know exactly. I'm talking about, Taki. Taki's a linebacker. Yeah, he has to be a linebacker. Okay, I cannot find him right away. No, he is. Yeah, he's a corner. He's not a line. No, he's a sub linebacker. Thank you. That's why. Once I heard Taki, see, I couldn't read his full name, right? And in my head, I'm like, Taki. I'm like, wait, no. I've so many draft content about him. I made so many draft videos about him. Taki's a linebacker. He's a sub linebacker. Yeah, losing him is gonna suck. Yeah, so I'd say overall wise, we're all gonna be different next year. Okay, we're all gonna be different. Some of us, Ravens, coaching staff's going to be different. Steelers, you're actually getting a plus and a benefit. You're actually going up. Mike Tomlin's coming back. Maybe that's good or bad, depending on what you feel. And then Browns, you're losing, you're losing some key pieces, but that's just part of football. Every year we lose pieces, we come back together, and after this video, we're gonna be back to normal Bengals talk because I don't really like covering. Like I said, I did cover these teams like all four on a separate channel. I just don't like talking about the Ravens, Steelers, or Browns. I really don't. Like, unless it involves us, I don't really like covering them. No offense to your fans, but I just, I like covering my team. I love covering the Bengals. It's what gives me enjoyment, what makes it fun for me. I get very passionate about it. I don't get passionate about the other teams. So, unless they're bothering us or doing something with us, then I get passionate because that involves my team. Thank you guys for watching. No, I'll see you guys next one. Peace.